Cameron, welcome back to my channel. Today is such an exciting day. I have never read the Boys of Tommen series. It's obviously one of the major series that is talked about and everybody loves. I have a 3-day weekend and I'm not going home, so I figured I could see if I can get through Binding 13. Now, this video is going to be spoilers because A, I feel like a lot of people have already read this book. B, maybe some people don't want to read it and they can just get the plot points via me. I just want to document my opinions. I'm excited to see where this goes. Shockingly enough, my mom actually just caught up with the series and I haven't even started it yet, so that was my cue. Yeah, so I just thought I would have you guys follow along as I get through this. I started it this morning and I am on page 70. I got some salad dressing on my book, unfortunately. If you have no clue what the Boys of Tommen series even is, I'll try to tell you to the best of my knowledge at this point. We're following high school students. The boys of these books, I believe, all play rugby. There's 2 books for Johnny and Shannon, then 2 books for, I don't actually know who comes next. I know that we have books for 13, 6, 7, and 10. So 4 different boys, 4 different relationships, I think. You might just have to look it up. But Binding 13 specifically, we are following Why are their names Johnny and Joey? We open with Shannon's first day of school. It's 2005 and we're in Ireland. This book does have a pronunciation guide and slang guide at the front, which I love, just like Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. Shannon's switching schools and we learn that she has a pretty tough family life. She has 4 brothers and 1 on the way. She was pretty much bullied out of her old school. It went on for years and her parents finally let her switch. She bumps into Johnny on her first day of school in some non-ideal circumstances. That's pretty much all I can say for non-spoilers. If you haven't read this and you'd like to be spoiler free, feel free to click off of this video. At the 70 page mark, I'm just a couple pages into chapter 6 and oh my goodness. I'm gonna be celebrating January 10th just like the rest of y'all this year, okay? I saw it this year and I went, turns out it's just the day they met. It's the day they met. I love Shannon so far. I feel for her. Johnny beating up his teammates in the locker room for her. Yeah. And that's kind of all I got. My camera battery is having problems, which is so convenient. So we've gone phone mode. I thought we were done with this. It's fine. It's totally fine. So I'm gonna try my best to remember that I don't have to avoid spoilers when I tell you about this. Shannon gets to school, she reunites with her 2 close friends, and they're so excited that she's there. She's happy to have some girlfriends to hang out with, so she's not always just tagging along with her brother's friends. The 3 girls, Shannon, Claire, and Lizzie, are on the way to their next class, and Shannon realizes she left her phone in the bathroom in another building. So she's like, no, I don't want you guys to be late. Like, she said, it would look better because I'm new, so if you guys are late, you guys just look like you were misbehaving, but like, I can play it off kind of thing. She sends her friends to class, and in order to take a shortcut to get to this science building, she decides to cut through the field. Now, they have 3 playing fields outside, and only one of them is occupied right now. So she cuts through the empty fields, and then she starts getting yelled at by all the rugby boys because why are you at practice right now? That brings us to Johnny's POV. He gets pissed off. He has an injury, so he's not performing well. He's also hangry. I thought that was kind of funny that that's like one of his things. Anyways, Johnny's angry, he's pissed off, he's injured, he's hungry, all of the things. And he's frustrated and he just kicks a ball. He kicks a ball, he's not paying attention, he's talking to his coach, and then he looks over. This girl didn't make it off the field. She's now laying on the side of the field with his ball next to her. So Johnny has kicked a rugby ball into Shannon's head. And that is their meet cute, which, you know, sometimes it works like that because my boyfriend accidentally smacked me across the face the night we met. And it's true love. So I have high hopes here. She apparently rolled in the wet mud down the hill because it's January in Ireland and it's raining. Her skirt is wrecked. She stands up, her skirt has come off. Her tights are ripped. The whole team is now seeing her. Johnny gets a little possessive. She's dazed and confused. she refuses to let him just pick her up and carry her to the nurse's office. Then the nurse is on maternity leave, so then he just has to sit with her for like 2 hours before her mom gets there, and it's a whole thing. Now, I will say, I've seen online all of the like quotes and stuff about Shannon like the river, and I thought it was going to be some bigger plot point that he calls her Shannon like the river. That's just how she introduced herself when she was concussed. A little bit underwhelming, but maybe it comes back into play later. The team is talking about how they saw Shannon in her underwear, and Johnny is pissed off. He gets a little bit rough with his teammates because they're all 17 and Shannon is 15. And he's like, she's too young for any of you, blah, blah, blah. And then one of them, he's like, well, hey, she's actually in my year, so fair game. And he goes, that's the problem. Like, you can't call women fair game. And I was like, yeah, love that. I think this kid's name was Ronan or what was his name? McGarry. But Johnny beat him to not a pulp, but he did threaten him. So where I got to now is Shannon has come back to school after a week away with her concussion, and she's expecting everybody to be talking about her. And she said, apart from the rugby boys kind of giving her a knowing smile because they've seen her in her underwear, no one is talking about it. And she suspects that it has a little something to do with Johnny Kavanaugh. And that's where we are. A lot has actually happened in 70 pages. But anyways, I'm gonna get back into this now. And hopefully my camera smartens up and charges fast because this is not the move. I'm on page 146 now, and Gibbsy just saved Shannon from Ronan McGarry. Thank God. Oh. I made an Instagram story that says, I fear I'm in love with Gibbsy, but I don't think I've said that to the video yet, so I do fear that I'm in love with him. And for that reason alone, in my head, he had dark hair and Johnny had blonde hair. I think it's swapped. I don't think I care. So. I just finished chapter 17, and Johnny and Shannon have kind of gotten in a little fight because I don't think either of them know what's going on in their heads. I think Johnny is confused and hurting because of his injury, and Shannon is scared because she's never even liked a boy before. No one's been nice to her before. And he drove her home, and they ended up in a fight after like a 2-hour really good conversation. But maybe this will make Johnny realize some things about himself. I'm really liking this so far. Like, I've gotten chills on multiple occasions. Okay, see, I was right. Not even 2 pages into chapter 18, and Johnny is reeling with this conversation that they've had, probably because she made a valid point. I fucking hated that she was right about my body. I was stubborn like that, which was why I got so defensive when she called me out on my bullshit. And I absolutely did not walk with a fucking limp. Jesus Christ. Also, they had like an awkward conversation because she offered to look at his stitches, and he had to be like, no, it's my adductor. It's like, and she was like, oh, it's a little, his injury is higher on his thigh than I thought. But they keep like describing it, and I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about it. I feel bad for him, but it's his fault that he went back and lied to his doctors and got signed off like 10 weeks too early. I'm on the same page as I was 2 seconds ago, but he has 3 dogs. He has 2 golden retrievers named Bonnie and Cupcake, and an older lab named Suki. We're getting our first look at Johnny's home life, and I'm nervous because I've heard, so like the books are all numbered, like Binding and Keeping 13, Saving and Redeeming 6, and so on and so forth. And I just thought that that was their rugby numbers, but I've also heard that it's like the age where something happened to them that like formed them. They had a formative experience, and probably traumatic. And we are just meeting his dog and his mom right now, so this should be interesting if nothing else. However, it's probably important to note that I don't know anything about rugby, but from the context of the way they're talking about their numbers, like, I don't know if there's, well, No, I don't know. They keep talking about it like, oh, R13, R10. So I'm like, do they align with the position? Like, are there always 13s and 10s and 7s? Or is it like just Irish talk? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know rugby and I don't know the Irishman. Although I do have one Irishman that's always in my heart. I think we're adding a few more. I think we're adding a couple to the list. I'm so nervous. Shannon just came home from Johnny dropping her off at school and her dad's holding a newspaper and he's drunk and I'm scared. Oh my god. In italics it says, "You're going to die, Shannon. This is the night he's going to kill you." So on page 214, after we see Shannon have a big blowout with her mom, which, by the way, I'm so proud of her because I'm pretty sure a lot of that needed to be said to her mom, and I hope that maybe it'll like shake her and she'll realize some things. But Shannon has sworn off of Johnny, but she does want to go tell him that she found a way to get her mom off his case. So then he doesn't have to worry about the principal and whatever. Because when she got knocked out, her mom was mad, obviously. So he's asking who had made her cry and who hurt her because she has a bruise on her face from her dad and she's been crying all morning because she fought with her mom. And he says, "Give me a name and I'll take care of it." "What? No, I'm grand. I just have allergies." He says, "Me too, to assholes and bullshit. Now tell me who made you cry and I'll fix it." For a split second, I debated naming my father just to see if Johnny would follow through on his word and take care of him. He looked like he could. He was certainly big enough. That's a big thing in this book. They always mention that Shannon is so small and tiny and little and 85 pounds. And they keep saying that Johnny's so big. He's 6'3". He doesn't even fit in his rugby practice outfit. Like, how about you buy a bigger size, bestie? It's done really well, although it is pretty repetitive to be like, he looks like he could. He's big enough. And then he being like, "I keep forgetting how small she is. Look at this picture. Her head is not even in my armpit." And it's like, okay, maybe I just can't relate because I'm like 5'7". I'm always the tall friend. These two soulmated so hard that she's had a pit of dread in her stomach all day. She throws up at school. Johnny drives her home, watches her walk up to the door and stops her because he knew somewhere in him not to let her stay home. The man that he is, I'm sorry. I just got to some more information about Shannon's childhood, and it sucks. Obviously everything about her made sense before, but like knowing the more and more information that I get, I just have like chills. It's a tough read at times. It's about 10:30 now, and I am on page 296, which is the start of chapter 32 and pretty much halfway through this book. And I think I'm gonna stop for the night, turn on a movie or some YouTube. First I have to take off my makeup, which is the biggest task of them all, and brush my teeth. I'm really impressed with the amount of reading I got done today. I'm excited to see how much I can get through tomorrow and Sunday as well. I should be able to finish it, I would think, because I'm really liking it. And if it weren't for my phone and the option to doom scroll, I probably could have read so much more today, but I kept getting distracted. I didn't even say what's been going on, but I'm at the halfway point and I am stopping after Joey and Aoife drive Johnny home and Gibbsy. And Johnny ate a cheeseburger and fries, so I'm so happy for him. I'm excited to see more Johnny and Shannon content because they make me happy. And I really am excited to see Gibbsy and whoever he ends up with. I don't think I know. I think I'm tired. Oh my gosh. See you in the morning. I just cracked my eyes open It's editing Cam jumping in because instead of putting you guys through that, I'm just gonna repeat what I said. So it was Shannon's birthday, and Aoife had come over and filled their whole house with groceries and took the kids so that Joey and Shannon could talk because their parents are MIA. And I just thought it was so sweet that she obviously really cares for both Joey and Shannon. And then Shannon says to him, you know, like, she must really love you. You're gonna make a great dad one day. And he said, that's never gonna happen. So I was basically just placing my prediction that I think they're gonna have kids because I know they get 2 books, and I think that she will change him and they're gonna have kids. And I hope it's not accidental pregnancy, but I don't think it is because I haven't heard anything. Because they do keep kind of bringing that up. Gibbsy talks about it a lot though. I just thought about that. That was an original thought from right now. Anyways, that is pretty much all you missed from that clip at 7 in the morning. Oh my god, it's her birthday and she just had such a good day with Johnny and she felt so safe, and I think she's still wearing his clothes, and now her brother's dropping her off and not coming back in the house. Nice, nice. Happy birthday. And yeah, for the record, there is a tear rolling down my cheek right now. Okay, excuse whatever's going on here. I just ran a bunch of errands. It's uncharacteristically warm out for the middle of September right now. I ended up reading up to chapter 42, so about 65 more pages this morning so far. So I'm on page 365, so I'm over halfway, and let's talk about my actual opinions on this book so far. First things first, I love Gibbsy. And my mom said, just you wait. And I was like, please don't tell me he does something stupid. But I have 2 bookmarks in here because at the 86 page mark, I put this in here because I didn't have my phone near me to take notes. So I just put another bookmark in. And I think maybe I align with Gibbsy because he seems to be like the hopeless romantic type, or like he's always talking about who's gonna marry who, and that he wants to be the best man at Johnny's wedding to Shannon and all this stuff. So it's like he sees it before anybody else. Because at the 86 page mark, I'm not even sure Johnny and Shannon had spoken after the incident, but he was obviously talking about it with Gibbsy. And I also think that it's real sweet that he is obsessed with Claire. Although I know it's probably gonna hurt my feelings because he's obviously sleeping around, but he really likes Claire, okay? So Claire was with them and she said, I hate you, Gerard Gibson. And he said, and I love you too. Jesus Christ, I swear to God, lad, that girl drives me crazy. You're already crazy, I reminded him. You don't need anyone's help with that. Look at her, Johnny. Look how beautiful that girl is. Christ, it might be the sunshine hair, but I swear she glows. Don't even think about it, were the words that came out of my mouth. I won't for now, but I have a feeling I'm going to marry her. And then Johnny says, what? It was too weird, even for him. Providing we both make it out of our youth without any accidental babies, he added thoughtfully. And her brother doesn't cut my dick off first, of course. He's just a cute little hopeless romantic, and I love that about him. I'm really liking Aoife and Joey's relationship as well. Their names being Joey and Johnny is a little bit annoying, but they are distinct in my head. Aoife obviously cares about both of them, Shannon and Joey, and that is very sweet because I think I explained the birthday situation a little bit. Anyways, as for Janin, is that their ship name by any chance? As for Joey and Shannon, I'm at the point where she was at his house all day on her birthday and she finally felt this like inner peace that she hasn't had for a long time, and she slept and they didn't really talk, but then Joey comes back to pick her up and Johnny feels this like dread. So it's like they're so connected that he knows, but he doesn't know because he tried to ask Joey where she gets all these bruises from because he asked her and she didn't tell. And half of me wanted Joey to tell him, but I'm glad he didn't because it is Shannon's truth to tell him when she feels ready. I have a feeling that might be soon. Yeah, so the mom has a miscarriage, the parents both come home, and then Joey says, I'm not going in there, like next time he hurts you, grab a knife. And she goes, oh, so you're not coming home? And he said no. So that hurt my feelings. Chapter 41 is really short and it's basically just Shannon talking about her feelings around being back at home. And it's called Block It Out, so you can imagine how that goes. But I also appreciate Claire and Lizzie because they know pieces of her home life and they don't push it to like talk to her about it or make her talk to them about it. I don't know, I'm just really liking this. It's pretty fast paced, like I'm invested, obviously. I've not read a book this fast in a while. I want to go for a walk, but I don't have this on audio. So the dilemma arises, do I start an audiobook or do I just stay here and read this? I don't think I have the capacity to go for a book walk. Anyways, I'll update you when we get a little bit further, but I'm really enjoying this. And I've had people that have read it texting me, asking for all the updates, and that makes me excited and nervous. They keep saying, oh, like after this year, he's gone, he's with the academy, he's going to play in Dublin. So I'm nervous for keeping 13 because I'm in a long distance relationship. And what if it's like Shannon doesn't feel like she's good enough to keep him? I guess we'll find out. This has got to be the most visually unappealing vlog you've ever seen. But I wanted to jump in and say that when I was making dinner, I was reading in between timers, and I got to the point where the title of this book is explained, which I was kind of waiting for because I didn't quite comprehend what it meant. And basically, before Johnny and Bella got together, all of the girls made what they called Operation Binding 13. So they're explaining this to Shannon, and binding is a rugby term for like a scrummage or like a fight. So they were using that as an innuendo. So this book is called Banging 13. Which is horrible because, like I think I've mentioned, this book was basically removed from the YA shelves at Barnes. I think it's still YA at Indigo, but the themes are strong, so I've heard that people complain that it's YA. And the title doesn't really help its case now that I know what it means. But on the bright side, I have to assume that Shannon ends up binding 13 in this book, right? Just to update, I'm on page 439 now. So I'm at the point where Shannon has gone back to Johnny's house with his mother and him, and she kissed him, and he did absolutely nothing. He froze. I did not love that. Anyways, it's just me and Casper. I thought this was fitting because he's reading a book. I'm one of the people that I can read while words are happening, but I like these Laprise ambiance videos because it's like background music, like it's supposed to be music playing in another room. And there's usually like rain, or this one's got fireplace. It's great ambiance for evening reading. I should mention that at this point, we've seen Johnny rejecting Shannon's kiss. They talked it over, but Shannon was not really hearing him. He was basically trying to tell her, like, I'm leaving in a few months. I'm gone all summer, but he'll be back for the school year. So as someone who knows long distance can work, I hope that they figure that out, especially for like only a summer. And now we've seen each of them talk to their friends about it individually. So Shannon called Claire, and Claire said, so we're not even gonna hate him? And she was like, no. So like I don't know, she has such a soft spot for Johnny. He didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he froze up and tried to explain himself. And then we saw Johnny trying to tell Gibbsy about it, and their conversation, well, no, I guess they both talked about her towel being open. But yeah, Johnny saw some things, Shannon saw some things, and Gibbsy thinks she's sexy for knowing GTA cheat codes. So now we're on chapter 50. Period leaks and hero boys. Every single thing that's so embarrassing has happened to Shannon in this book, and now she's gonna have period problems. Okay. I've heard that She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5 is like Johnny and Shannon's song, but I don't know if that's official or if that's what people say, because I can just see someone picking that out for Shannon. But now they're talking about Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. And her grandpa used to sing it to her. I know that there's playlists at the back of this book for both of them, so I fear I'll be falling into a rabbit hole. I haven't yet, but we'll see. Is Gibbsy way too concerned about Johnny's penis? Yes. Is he a little bit strange with the gifts that he's providing Johnny? Yes. Did he just make Johnny do his whole essay? Absolutely he did. Do I love him? 100%. 100%. That's my man. That's my man. In my head, he's brunette though. Okay. I spoke like 30 pages too soon, but of course, Johnny's plan didn't work out and he gave her the wrong CD. So then he just has to tell her that the song he meant was She Will Be Loved. And she says, I blew out a shaky breath and tried to get a handle on my nerves. It wasn't easy though, not with the root of all my anxiety sitting next to me, and the words of that song tormenting me. If only he knew how true those lyrics were. If only. And now she's gonna get beaten for not coming home from Dublin. I think she'll have to tell Johnny, and he'll have to bring her home. Although he said he would do that, and I'm not sure how, because he's on the bus too. But he'd find a way. The rugby talk only came up in the last 100 pages. I'm on page 520, and we're getting an explanation from Mr. Kavanaugh. And I was right, your number on the team does correlate with your position, which is pretty handy. Like, I think I would follow sports a little bit better if that were the case. I was impressed that we didn't hear this till now, honestly. She's really making you care about the characters before you hear him talk about his rugby. Oh, ooh. I just read ahead a little bit by accident. Why do you do it? What do you mean? Rugby, why do you do it? I love it. Everything about it. The shape of the ball, the physicality of the game, the adrenaline rush, the pressure, the rewards, pushing myself. I fucking love the game. I love you. I almost blurted out, holding the 3 terrifying words back just in time. Oh my god, where did that come from? I didn't love Johnny. I didn't even know him. Not well, at least. And sure, the parts I knew about him were good parts, decent parts, beautiful parts, but that in no way meant I felt anything deeper for Johnny than obvious physical attraction and a teenage crush. It was ridiculous. I was ridiculous. Stop lying to yourself, my brain hissed. You love him with every piece of your fractured heart. She does. It's true. And I'm happy for her. She just needs to deal with it. It's the truth, Johnny. I'm unlikable. It's a fact. Plain and simple. That's bullshit. You're not unlikable. It's not bullshit. I am unlikable. I like you. Well, I love you, Johnny Kavanaugh, even though you're leaving, even though you don't feel the same, even though loving you is going to break my heart. I love you with everything I have, and I probably always will. She found a playlist on his iPod called Songs for Shannon, and we're gonna get my reaction to this list. All I saw was Yellow by Coldplay. Here we go. Nice. Iris is third on the list. These were love songs. These were all love songs. Saved to a playlist with my name on it. Why? Why would he do this? Did he? No. No, he didn't. Of course he didn't. Then why? They keep hyping up this big conversation that they're gonna have tonight on the drive home. And I fear that someone is going to get an injury worse than he already has. I really don't want that to happen. But that's where we're leaning, unfortunately. They've now both privately in their heads realized that they're in love with each other. But they haven't said it, so that's what Johnny wants to tell her tonight after the game. I'm scared. Help. He's hurt. Shannon is either gonna get home late or the next day. And I'm scared for her. I have FBCs right now. Full body chills. Oh, God. Chapter 62 is in Johnny's POV and it's called Time's Up, Lad. 50 pages left. This is so bad. Not only because Johnny has to have another surgery, so his chances for this U20 thing this summer are over, But now Shannon didn't get back on the bus to go back to the school with everybody else. I don't know what she's gonna do. She's gonna have to hope that his family just brings her with them. Oh, Gibbsy's there. Oh my god, and now she feels guilty. She feels like she should have been the one to say something to his coach or his mom or someone. Oh, she is gonna get to see him. He might have surgery tonight, so I'm glad that she's going in there. Okay, correction, the bus did not leave without her yet, but I have a feeling it will very soon. 2 things have been mentioned about when Johnny was 13, so I don't know if it's actually true about the whole, like, trauma events at that age thing, which if it is, I'm scared because it goes as low as 6 in this series. He lost his virginity at 13, and I feel like I remember something about a babysitter being involved, and it just said that his appendix burst when he was 13. Yeah, my eyes are watering at whatever Johnny said when he was high on morphine. Of course they are. Telling his whole family that he's in love, and then she's there, and he's so excited to see her. I'm getting stressed out. I'm on the last chapter now. It's like 6 pages, not even. Oh my god, I don't like it. It says Shannon, so there's like song moments here, and it says Shannon in the final scene knocking on heaven's door. Wow. I think I'm gonna have to wait and end this off tomorrow. I immediately have to go on Kindle Unlimited and find Keeping 13. I think I just need to eat some ice cream, watch something, and compose my thoughts. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow and we'll wrap this up. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get into it. It's Sunday evening now. I've sat with my thoughts all day, and you best believe that She Will Be Loved has been stuck in my head. I don't think I'll ever hear that song the same. My mom called me to ask how I feel about this, and it made me realize that I really, really liked it, which I think we already knew. She was talking to me. She's like, I saw that you said you're so in love with Gibbsy, but just you wait, because then you're gonna be in love with Joey, and then you're gonna be in love with this, and then you're gonna this. And I was like, oh. And then I thought that Gibbsy was 10, but apparently he's not. I'd have to go back in here and look, but 10 is the one that came out the most recently, but I guess Gibbsy is somewhere in the middle. So that's exciting. As for a rating of this book, I don't know the appropriate way to rate books because I try to just compare to what else I've rated. Like on my story graph, I'll go in and see. This was my thought process. This was a really good book, but if I think about my most recent 5-star read, which was Anxious People by Frederick Bachman, then this doesn't quite feel like a 5-star, but those books are so 2 completely different things. So I don't know. I'll stick this at a 4.75, which I know is so annoying, the quarter stars, but let's pull up my story graph, okay? Let's see. Story graph tracks your reading just like Goodreads does. I do use both because story graph comes with these nice stats. I don't know if it's gonna focus. All the different things. If you're reading more fiction or non-fiction, more audio, how long your books are, it's completely not in focus. You get the gist though. Anyway, and then I scroll and I look at all of my ratings. So if I was to put this at a 4.75, it would be equal with The Wedding People, The Paradise Problem, The Conditions of Will, Empire of Storms, which I think feels right. And I still have Anxious People as a 4.75 on here, so I'm actually going to switch it because I've since come to the conclusion that that book was insanely good. Anyways, the whole point of that rant is this is landing at a 4.75 stars. I really enjoyed it. I would like to report that there was no binding in this book. because the ending was insane. There was no time. I can't remember what I said last night. I really giggled and shed a tear when Johnny was in the hospital after his surgery, and he's got both his parents in the room, and he's so high, and he's talking to them about his surgery and this injury that he has, personal problems, and he's asking for Shannon and telling everyone he's gonna marry her and have babies with her. That made me giggle. But then the last chapter is in Shannon's POV, and I told you guys I was scared, I think. And I should have been. I completely should have been. I was hoping for like a stabbing to end this book, but it ended on "Make a choice, Mom," Joey snarled as he glared down at our mother. Him or us. And part of me knows that she's gonna pick him, which I do not love. I do not love that. I'm going to immediately pick up Keeping 13. They're all on Kindle Unlimited. I was listening to an audiobook today, but basically just waiting to talk about this and gather my thoughts. I'm so excited to see where we end up. You can keep up with it on my Instagram for sure. Maybe there's another video coming. Who knows? Depends how crazy it gets. Maybe I'll do the rest of them in one big video. I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to say? I know this reading vlog was probably really weird and the structure of it is not good and it's visually unappealing because my walls are so bare, but it's only the first couple weeks in the dorm, okay? I'm gonna try to fix it up. I'll find better angles. We'll do something more interesting than sit in my dorm next video. I just was flipping pages like crazy. It makes me excited to read again because everything that I've physically been reading has been fantasy that I haven't loved for like 3 or 4 weeks. So this was really good to kickstart the getting back into reading and enjoying it. Yeah, this was super easy to read, but the topics are heavy. I can see where it reads like a no, it doesn't read like a YA though. I don't know. I'm conflicted because she says 16 in here, but YA can be like 11, can it not? So I don't know. I'm conflicted there, but I'm not the one making the decisions. If you have read this book, please comment your rating, and if you've read the series, let me know your favorite book. I am going to probably just continue, and it's going to be Boys of Tommen for me for the next little while. But this is exciting because I get to cross off one of my 25 for 2025 now that I finish this. Anyways, that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed to see more of this. Maybe I'll put something on the walls in the near future. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!